I don't expect to be forgiven. I'm just here to apologize.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most disingenuous and half-hearted apologies to come from famous people that generated a significant amount of controversy.
I want to apologize to the Academy. I want to apologize to all my fellow nominees.
Number 20, Jimmy Fallon. Host of The Tonight Show, Jimmy Fallon came under fire in September 2023 following a bombshell article by Rolling Stone.
Behind the scenes, which have been exposed in an explosive article about the SNL alum, some are asking, will these latest allegations lead to Fallon getting canceled?
The piece detailed allegations of a toxic work environment by both former and current employees.
Fallon's on-air, likable persona is a facade.
Shortly after, Fallon held a Zoom call with staffers to extend an apology.
Claimed that host Jimmy Fallon has created a toxic workplace.
The comedian reportedly stated that he was embarrassed by the report and conveyed his regret if he had embarrassed them too.
I feel so bad, I can't even tell you. I want this show to be fun. It should be inclusive for everybody.
However, this plea was widely criticized online for its perceived lack of accountability, with one commenter noting that it sounded like, quote, it was spoken by a toddler. Others took issue with the apology being made virtually and not in person, suggesting that he only said sorry because he was publicly called out. Number 19, SHIA LABEOUF. For many celebrities, a public apology is a necessary step to make a PR nightmare disappear. But in the case of controversial actor Shia LaBeouf, it only made his problems worse.
But LaBeouf's new short film went live online Monday, and now the actor is facing allegations of plagiarism.
LaBeouf released a short film in 2012 titled HowardCantor.com, which initially received critical acclaim. However, it soon emerged that he had extensively plagiarized material from Dan Clow's comic, Justin M. Damiano. In response, the actor issued an apology on social media, only for fans to discover that he had copied those words from a Yahoo Answers post. This led to a barrage of plagiarized apologies, each more cringeworthy than the last.
The actor first said that he, quote, got lost in the creative process, and that was his reason for not crediting this author for inspiring his film.
Needless to say, LaBeouf's attempts at saying sorry contained a 404 error, sincerity not found.
He put this over Hollywood. Mr. Close, he lives up in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Number 18, DaBaby. Hip-hop artist DaBaby was a star on the rise, with multiple chart-topping albums and Grammy nominations.
I'm a young CEO, sure, yeah.
Then came the 2021 Rolling Loud Festival. During his set at the Miami show, DaBaby unleashed a series of offensive remarks about gay men and people living with HIV.
Like Madonna, Questlove, Demi Lovato, and Elton John, longtime advocate for HIV and AIDS prevention, calling out the misinformation.
Instead of issuing a genuine apology right away, the rapper doubled down on his stance and attacked those who called him out. Then, after being dropped from multiple music festivals and losing business deals, his tune began to change.
Social media moves so fast that people want to demolish you before you even have the opportunity to grow, educate, and learn from your mistakes.
DaBaby eventually took to Instagram to apologize to the LGBTQ+ community, but not before taking his critics to task. Unfortunately, his statement came across as insincere, and hardly anyone was persuaded by it. Number 17, Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson has been dogged by allegations of anti-Semitism since the release of his 2004 film, The Passion of the Christ. Those claims would resurface 2 years later after Gibson was arrested by an LA County Sheriff's deputy for driving under the influence. The arrest report, which was leaked by TMZ, revealed that the actor and filmmaker had allegedly uttered several anti-Semitic remarks at the deputy. Gibson first published a statement following the leak, which failed to directly address the incident, only describing his remarks as, quote, despicable.
The devout Catholic wrote, "I am not a bigot. Hatred of any kind goes against my faith," and asked the Jewish community to help in his journey through recovery.
This response did little to quell the controversy, leading to a much more heartfelt apology a few days later. However, by this time, many deemed it a day late and a dollar short. Number 16. Chrissy Teigen. TV personality Courtney Stodden rose to fame in 2011 after their marriage to actor Doug Hutchison as a teenager. In 2021, Stodden disclosed that during that period, they were repeatedly harassed by Chrissy Teigen, who allegedly went as far as urging them to take their own life.
Courtney Stodden, my Friday fantasy, you dirt nap, baby.
This revelation prompted significant backlash against Teigen, resulting in the termination of multiple business partnerships. In response, Teigen publicly apologized to Stodden, claiming to have reached out to them in private.
Not a lot of people are lucky enough to be held accountable for all their past bullshit.
Although they accepted the apology, Stodden remained skeptical of its sincerity, believing it was only induced by the loss of her business deals.
Forgiveness, right, starts with ourselves, but it's so damaging.
Stodden also stated that they remained blocked by Teigen and hadn't been contacted by her. Number 15. Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis. Hollywood couple Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis both rose to prominence on the Fox sitcom That 70s Show. In May of 2023, their former co-star Danny Masterson was convicted of sexually assaulting 2 women. Before his sentencing, Kutcher and Kunis wrote letters of support to the judge, lauding Masterson as a, quote, role model and, quote, exceptional individual. These letters eventually became public and sparked outrage among fans.
And the consensus is that that video didn't help.
Shortly after, the couple released a videotaped apology, which only exacerbated the backlash as it was deemed performative and insincere.
They were intended for the judge to read, and we're sorry.
The criticism was particularly directed at Kutcher, seeing as he co-founded an NGO to combat human trafficking. In the face of mounting pressure, Kutcher relinquished his role on the board of the NGO. Number 14. Alec Baldwin. Rendering public apologies seemingly became just another part of the job at one point in Alec Baldwin's career. Perhaps the most infamous one came in 2007, after the 30 Rock actor left a voicemail in which he yelled insults at his daughter Ireland for missing a scheduled call. Certainly not the most appropriate parental behavior. But when Baldwin was rightfully called out after the tapes leaked, he failed to acknowledge responsibility for his words.
My deep and seemingly endless frustration about this situation, which is complicated, led me to end up saying something to someone that I really meant to say to someone else.
Instead blaming them on the custody dispute with his ex-wife, Kim Basinger. Even more, he seemed to echo these same sentiments when he appeared on The View afterwards. More than a decade later, Ireland got her opportunity to fire back at Baldwin's 2019 Comedy Central roast. Number 13. Lea Michele. Lea Michele garnered praise and an Emmy nomination for her role as Rachel Berry on Glee. But behind the scenes, it seems her behavior wasn't exactly award-worthy.
LMAO, remember when you made my first television gig a living hell?
In June 2020, actress Samantha Marie Ware accused Michelle of subjecting her to, quote, traumatic microaggressions and other toxic behaviors on set. These claims were supported by other actors who appeared on the show.
Lea treated me so subhuman, I left the set of Glee. With that said, was she unpleasant to work with? Very much so.
Michelle responded with a lengthy apology on Instagram, where she suggested that it was her privileged position that caused her to be, quote, perceived as insensitive or inappropriate at times.
What matters is that I clearly acted in ways which hurt other people, whether it was my privileged position and perspective that caused me to be perceived as insensitive.
Many took issue with Michelle's use of the word perceived, which appeared to shift responsibility for her actions, as well as her failure to apologize directly to Ware. Number 12. Will Smith.
Do what we do. You got to be able to take abuse.
The 2022 Oscars will always be remembered, not necessarily for the history-making awards, but for a slap.
Oh, wow! Wow!
During the ceremony, Chris Rock made an insensitive joke about actress Jada Pinkett Smith, prompting her husband Will Smith to walk up and smack him in the face.
Will Smith is offering a public apology to Chris Rock.
Smith seemed to realize the weight of his actions quickly and apologized when he received the Best Actor award less than an hour later.
I want to apologize to the Academy. I want to apologize to all my fellow nominees.
In his speech, Smith offered a plea to just about everyone who witnessed the incident, except the one person on the receiving end, Chris Rock. After being criticized heavily for this, he issued a direct apology on social media, acknowledging his behavior as, quote, unacceptable and inexcusable. Number 11, Paula Deen. This popular Southern chef found herself in boiling water when a former employee of hers detailed allegations of a hostile work environment and racial discrimination.
More fallout after her admission that she used racial slurs in the past.
In a subsequent deposition, Deen admitted that she had used derogatory slurs in the past.
Have you ever used the N-word yourself? To which she replies, yes, of course.
This revelation brought with it heavy backlash and multiple financial repercussions, including a dismissal from her home channel, the Food Network. So how did Deen respond? Well, she first released a series of bizarre YouTube apology videos that didn't seem to do her any favors. But then she appeared on the Today Show, where she essentially pushed the blame onto everyone else but herself.
If there's anyone out there that has never said something that they wish they could take back.
Overall, Deen's attempts at apologizing left a bad taste in the public's mouth. Number 10, Justin Timberlake. The Super Bowl 38 halftime show is a piece of television history. Quick recap, Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake were performing the halftime show when Timberlake accidentally exposed Jackson's breast in an unfortunate wardrobe malfunction. Although the incident was a freak accident, that didn't stop the outrage from pouring in. Jackson was essentially blacklisted, and Timberlake, who faced comparatively less backlash, did barely anything to defend her.
All the emphasis was put on me, not on Justin. And Justin, we were friends.
But his apology at that year's Grammy Awards was almost worse than silence. Timberlake's remorseful words consisted of nothing more than the classic, "I apologize if you guys were offended" line. No, literally, that's exactly what he said.
What occurred was unintentional, completely regrettable, and I apologize if you guys were offended.
Number 9, Bryan Adams. The COVID pandemic and resulting lockdowns put a lot of plans on indefinite hold. It was certainly frustrating, and because of that, some people were prone to public venting. Bryan Adams was one of those people. He was scheduled to perform at London's Royal Albert Hall in May 2020, but the concerts were cancelled on account of COVID. Adams vented on Instagram with a series of misinformed and xenophobic comments. His rant faced some backlash for perpetuating hateful and unverified rumors about the virus.
It unleashed a firestorm on social media and accusations of racism, especially from the Chinese community.
Adams apologized to those who took offense and went on to explain that he wanted to highlight animal mistreatment in certain markets as a possible source of the virus.
Adams walked it back, saying in a sort of half apology he was actually criticizing animal cruelty, and if you were offended, he's sorry. If you weren't, I'm not sorry. So it was those kind of apologies.
Number 8, Hannah Brown.
Trying to be strong, trying to keep my faith, and I'm trying to rely on the thing that's far greater than me.
Serving as a contestant on season 23 of The Bachelor and the lead on season 15 of The Bachelorette, Hannah Brown has many fans who watch her Instagram live feeds. In one particular feed that took place in May of 2020, Brown mindlessly said an offensive word while singing along to DaBaby's Rockstar.
Brand new Lamborghini, like a cop car, with a pistol on my back, I'm a cop.
When Brown was called out by fans and the media, she jokingly dismissed the incident and even claimed that she didn't say it.
I don't think that you said that. I don't think, maybe no, there was, maybe it was Patrick.
The event ticked some people off, including the first African-American bachelorette, Rachel Lindsay.
It's wrong. You wouldn't say it on TV. You wouldn't say it on the radio. You wouldn't say it in front of your black friend. And if the reason that you wouldn't say that is because you feel uncomfortable, then maybe you shouldn't say it in private around your other friends either. Maybe you shouldn't sing along with it to a song.
Brown apologized through a written statement on Instagram stories. However, that statement also caused some offense. Brown's fellow Bachelor Nation member Nick Viall called her remarks, quote, a really, really terrible apology that doesn't read as sincere. So much so that Brown subsequently issued a second apology.
What I did was something extremely serious, and I did not want to continue repeating this long history of white people not taking accountability and responsibility for their actions when people of color, black people, call them out on their behavior. And that is just not something that I wanted to be a part of.
Number 7, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. The controversial relationship between Depp and Heard has been the focus of a lot of drama. While the news surrounding their court proceedings throughout 2020 was certainly grim, they faced a considerable amount of backlash in 2016 when they smuggled dogs into Australia.
In May, Heard and hubby Johnny Depp traveled to Queensland on a private jet for Depp to film his latest Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Their pups, Pistol and Boo, did not go through customs and did not undergo the country's required 10-day quarantine.
Heard admitted to creating a fake customs document in order to transport their Yorkshire Terriers into the country. She did so in blatant ignorance of Australia's biosecurity laws, which could have sent Heard to prison for 10 years. Heard was instead given a 1-month good behavior bond. The subsequent apology video was widely mocked and considered insincere.
I am truly sorry that Pistol and Boo were not declared. Protecting Australia is important.
Declare everything when you enter Australia.
Even Australia's Deputy Prime Minister criticized the apology, saying he didn't think it's something they would have willingly wanted to do.
Even I could have done a little bit better than that. Do it again, Johnny. Do it with gusto, mate. Bit of gusto.
Number 6, Mario Batali. Celebrity chef Mario Batali is known for his numerous restaurants around the world and repeated appearances on various Food Network programs. In December 2017, Batali was accused of misconduct by a number of women.
Batali was a very powerful, influential man, and a lot of these women are alleging that he had a habit for retaliating.
He lost various business partnerships and was fired from the ABC program The Chew. Batali offered an excuse through an email newsletter, saying, "My behavior was wrong and there are no excuses. I take full responsibility." At least he owned up to it. Wait, what's this about cinnamon rolls? For some reason, Batali decided to add a postscript in which he linked a recipe to pizza dough cinnamon rolls. His extremely tone-deaf decision to include a recipe to this apology was widely mocked.
It's just, and then a picture of them.
Yeah.
Right, so this was...
I know you guys, we popped it up earlier, but this is just a closer look at it.
Number 5, Chris Brown. While his career has seen somewhat of a comeback recently, Chris Brown's reputation was severely tarnished after he was convicted of felony assault of Rihanna in 2009. A few hours after the incident, Brown later turned himself into the police. He canceled imminent public appearances while the media stopped playing his music and showing productions that he was in. While awaiting sentencing, Brown issued a public apology in the months that followed through a 2-minute video that was posted online.
I felt it was time that you heard directly from me that I am sorry. I have tried to live my life in a way which can make those around me proud of me, and until recently, I think I was doing a pretty good job.
The apology was heavily criticized, while his public image tanked. In the years after his criminal act, he still faced considerable backlash and criticism.
I was wrong for what I did, and I would definitely say that it's not something that I look past or look over. It's something that's really, really touchy.
Number 4, Louis C.K.
How you doing?
Okay. Good.
Louis C.K. was arguably one of the most beloved comedians of his time. He earned enormous popularity and widespread critical acclaim for his stand-up comedy and surreal FX comedy drama Louis. However, everything changed when misconduct allegations emerged against him in 2017.
5 women all sharing similar stories not verified by NBC News.
After claims emerged from multiple women, Louis admitted to his actions in a public statement by simply saying, "These stories are true.
I have been remorseful of my actions, and I've tried to learn from them and run from them. Now I'm aware of the extent of the impact of my actions."
However, his subsequent apology was peppered with inappropriately graphic language. Louis also made bafflingly tone-deaf statements like, "I said to myself that what I did was okay." The apology didn't seem to help much. Not only did he lose favor in the public eye, but he's also estimated to have lost $35 million in potential income after the allegations emerged.
Louis C.K. wrote, "There is nothing about this that I forgive myself for," adding, "I will now step back and take a long time to listen."
Number 3, Ellen DeGeneres.
So consider me your professor. This is like kindness 101, so pay attention. This is on the midterm.
Throughout the summer of 2020, Ellen DeGeneres faced some significant backlash when she was publicly called out for allegedly creating, or at least allowing for, a toxic workplace to exist behind the scenes. Staff was reportedly on the receiving end of racist comments and various aggressive behavior. An investigation ensued while Ellen apologized to staff in a letter.
On day one of our show, I told everyone in our first meeting that the Ellen DeGeneres show would be a place of happiness. Obviously, something changed, and I'm disappointed to learn that this has not been the case, and for that, I'm sorry.
Ellen then tried to bury the hatchet for good by addressing the accusations in her show's season 18 premiere. During her statement, DeGeneres made jokes and we heard a virtual audience laugh and applaud.
Let me give you some advice out there. If anybody's thinking of changing their title or giving yourself a nickname, do not go with the Be Kind Lady. Don't do it.
Hearing crowd noise during this supposedly serious moment made her apology seem disingenuous. But fortunately, or unfortunately in her case, the monologue wasn't well watched. The season premiere ratings were down 38% compared to the previous year.
So my hope is that we can still be a place of happiness and joy. I still want to be the 1 hour a day that people can go to escape and laugh. I want to continue to help all the people that we help every day. And I'm committed to making this the best season that we have ever had.
Number 2, Logan Paul. On December 31st, 2017, Logan Paul uploaded a video where he toured Japan's Aokigahara forest. The site sadly became infamous because of all the people who have taken their own lives there. During this video, Paul included an image of one of those people that he saw for himself. His reaction to the person and the fact that he even uploaded the video in the first place were both largely criticized. This was also an especially bad move considering Paul's young audience. He issued various apologies in the aftermath.
I should have put the cameras down and stopped recording what we were going through. There's a lot of things I should have done differently, but I didn't. And for that, from the bottom of my heart, I am sorry.
In one apology, he excused his heartless behavior as a coping mechanism. He also claimed that he uploaded the video not to get views, but to raise awareness. But we doubt many people believe that.
I don't expect to be forgiven. I'm just here to apologize.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Kevin Spacey.
And this chamber chooses to debate me?
Few celebrities have been canceled as hard as Kevin Spacey was. This man went from one of the most beloved actors in movie history to a disgraced has-been due to a slew of accusations. In one claim, actor Anthony Rapp reported that when he was a teenager, an adult Spacey behaved inappropriately towards him. In the wake of these claims, Spacey unleashed what may be the most confusing and horrendous apology known to humankind. He claimed not to remember what happened, blamed intoxication for his behavior, and came out as gay.
That statement drawing fire, many saying addressing his sexuality was a tactic he was using.
The apology was fiercely criticized for being tone deaf and for its feeble attempt to distract attention from his alleged crimes with his sexuality. Though he was ultimately cleared on all counts in 2023, there's no denying his baffling attempt to make amends completely ruined Spacey's reputation.
The fact that he responded the way he did and also conflating it with him coming out as gay has really only made this scandal worse.
Which of these tasteless apologies made you cringe the most? Let us know in the comments.
All aboard the toxic gossip train.